Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tip Your Caddy, powered by Spike Date. I'm your host, Dougie Buckets. I'm joined here by Nate Scott. Nate, now champion on the Champions Tour.
Yeah, buddy.
Dude, how you doing? Dude, tell us about the victory. What's going on, man?
It was crazy. Yeah, pretty unbelievable week. Partnered with Darren Clarke and his caddy Keith Nolan, who's a legend as well. He was uh part of the Walker Cup team at one point. He's played both nationwide back then, Korn Ferry now, and a ton of PGA Tour events. So we were surrounded by a legend in his own right with Darren and Keith. So it was just an incredible week. And then to do it with Ben, who I've been working with for about a year and a half now, is just a ton of fun. So much fun.
Did you know on Thursday, like, okay, something's up right now. We're firing.
Well, so the great thing about Champions Tour is it's 3 days and there's no cut. So it's
Sick, dude.
kind
Really, really awesome journalism, Doug. Way to go.
of
Awesome,
no,
dude.
no,
Way to be
no.
paying attention.
No. To be
Dude,
fair, there are some 4 days events there. But this one is a 3 day event. And Darren came up to Ben and I. We were playing our only practice round on Tuesday together, and we ended up only playing 9 holes. Darren was coming back from Italy. I think his daughter got married or somebody got married. But anyway, he was kind of light on sleep, so we played 9 holes on Tuesday together. And he came up to us before we teed off, and he was like, just fired us up. Like he's like, boys, you and Nate and Keith and I are, we're this team because we can win this thing. We can truly win this thing if we go out there and we're just going to put 2 balls in play, and we're going to have 2 looks at birdie as a team event. The format was alternate shot, scramble, and then best ball, scramble, and best ball again on Sunday. And he just fired Ben and I up. He gave us like this miracle speech, and Ben and I were just like so amped and ready to go. And just hearing that from Darren, who's Ryder Cup captain. He's got 3 PGA Tour wins. He won the Open in 2011, I think, and he's won the Senior Open. So he's just such a stud, and I mean,
that's
huge
so
guy,
sick.
just larger than life, and he's a legend. Yeah,
That's so sick, dude. I don't think a single player has ever come up to me on the range and been like, yeah, dude, we got this. We're going to win today.
yeah, right.
It's always like, my
Yeah,
game sucks right now, dude.
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that's
Ben
sick.
Ben looked at me like after the round. He's like, "I'm so amped up, dude. You got to like almost calm me down right now. Like it's 2 days before the event, and I'm ready to tee it off." So
That's
it was so cool. Yeah.
that's sick. So has life sort of changed for you like after the win? Is there any noticeably difference?
Um, Not really. I'm still like I'm not very well known, I guess, on this tour. Like, I mean, I built my life. I was 5 years caddying on the Korn Ferry Tour, so having the opportunity to jump up here, you're just not only surrounded by like legend golfers, of course, but
Yeah.
all these caddies are just true veterans who have been out here and on the PGA Tour, obviously for 10, 15, 20 years. So it's just I'm lonely out here, and try not to step on any toes, but and I'm pretty much the youngest guy on this tour too, which
I
is
was gonna
funny.
I was gonna say, dude, like you must be the young buck on the senior tour. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool, dude.
I've got one other buddy of mine who was on the Korn Ferry Tour who caddies for Tommy Two Gloves. His name's Zach Mason. So that's the only other guy really in my age group, minus the dads who have their sons on the bag, which is awesome too.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. That is pretty
Yeah,
cool, dude. Let's go back. Let's go. I want to talk a little bit more about the tournament, but let's go
yeah.
back. Where did you start your caddy career? How did you get into all this? Where was the beginning for Nate Scott's caddy career?
So I went to a Division II school in Pensacola, West Florida, and I ended up I didn't play golf there, but I roomed with a guy named Chandler Blanchett, who's one of my best friends to this day. So he was on the golf team, and I caddied for him. Like I think I did maybe a couple U.S. Open qualifiers with him, and then a couple college events, but didn't like think too much into caddying. But like as a career down the road, never crossed my mind. And so he ended up getting out of school. He got Latin status, or sorry, Canadian status his first year. And I'm in my senior year, my 5th year, albeit at West Florida. And my only class I'm taking at this time is tennis. And so Chandler's playing.
What?
I
You're going to college to take a class for tennis? Are you
I got a
kidding me?
I got a degree in hospitality. I had to fill in the bubbles at the I don't know what I was doing in my life.
Oh,
So,
dude, that's awesome.
yeah, so I had a lot of free time in the I think it was 2019, summer 2019. So Chandler's playing on the Canadian tour, and he's got an event in Winnipeg, which is like just across the border of North Dakota, I guess. And I'm texting him. I'm like, dude, let me come and caddy for you for this event. And he's like, I can't pay you anything, dude. Like, it's really expensive, whatever. I'm like, dude, I'll just drive up. Like, just let me do it. I just want to caddy. So he agrees, and he's like, okay, I can give you gas money. So I got family in Chicago. So I leave Pensacola on like a Thursday. I got family in Chicago. Cubs fan, by the way. Dad's from Illinois area. So I stop there, visit family, go watch a Cubs hit a David Bodie hits a walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, down 3. Long night. Wake up on Saturday.
Tell me that's not a sign for the trajectory you're on right now, dude.
I know, right? Definitely wasn't this week that I'm going up to. And then, so long night. That game was on Saturday, so I made a weekend out of it. Drive up Sunday, meet Chandler in Winnipeg. So this is 12 hours to Chicago, 12 hours up to Winnipeg in my Jeep Grand Cherokee, and then I meet him in Sunday, and like I just get immersed like all of a sudden into this world of professional golf, of just like, the coolest thing I remember from this first event is just like there being ropes and like getting a badge and like just getting to walk inside the ropes and being, a caddy in a professional
Yeah.
event. And so I was no idea what I was doing up there. It was more of the same of just kind of carrying his bag at this point, and missed a cut by a billion. Is basically where that goes. And so I'm in Winnipeg, and I'm like, gosh, wow, that was terrible and awesome at the same time. Just like this first experience in this. So that's kind of when it popped into my head of like caddying down the road. And but yeah, I end up we missed the cut on Friday. I think Chandler and I went out on Friday night, and then I wake up at like 6 Saturday, drive back to Chicago, get in super late, wake up the next morning early, and I'm like, I vividly remember just being like 4 hours out of my drive back home to Pensacola, and just like, what am I doing with my life? I'm about like, there's a highway, and
you missed the
there's a
cut by
highway and a
trillion.
tree, and I'm ready to hit this tree right now. I'm just
You missed the cut by a billion. You go out, you have a trillion beers, you got a billion-hour ride home, dude. You're just like, what the is this? What am I doing? Now
it was fun,
is it shortly after you went to go work at Sawgrass?
So I ended up, my wife and I moved to Jacksonville right after school, and I got a sales job for a little bit. I got a degree in hospitality, so like anybody who gets a fake degree, sales right away.
Straight to
So I
sales.
did,
Mine
straight
was
to sales.
psychology and sociology. Straight to sales.
Sales. What do you do? Sales.
Yeah, just sales. That's what I do.
Yeah.
It's what I do now. It's my life. It's my calling.
Yeah.
It's my passion.
Yeah. It's such a cult. It's such a cult. But yeah, so I worked there for not even a year. I was like, this is awful. I'm out of here. So I worked at a golf club for a little bit, and I did carts, and I was like, maybe I'll do I actually passed my PGA test to the PAT to go into the PGA program before I left college, because I had that like the back of my mind as something I wanted to do. So I started working at this club, and they were like, we don't have any room inside for you, but you can do carts. And I'm like, well, it sounds better than sales. So I was just doing carts. My wife was in the Navy at the time, and so it was just, it was good. I was playing golf and having fun there. And then during that time, Chandler actually got his Korn Ferry status through a Monday qualifier, and basically reshuffled in onto the Korn Ferry Tour, and gave me an opportunity. And that's kind of when my career started in 2020 as a professional caddy. So it was it was a weird track to get back in with Chandler, but
Yeah.
he gave me my shot, which was awesome, and here we are now.
I mean, that's awesome, especially because of what you text me. Now, Chandler and you didn't quite work out. What
No.
happened? What happened with that? Because
So
because
we
in the
were
text you said you're still best friends, and I'm like,
yeah.
that's tough to do, man.
Yeah, no, so we were obviously super close in college and he wasn't in our fraternity, but he was an honorary member in our fraternity
Nice.
and
Those
hung
are the
out with
best
us.
guys.
Yeah, he
It's
was
like
such a
me. I didn't go to UMass Amherst, but I was there every single weekend. So
yeah.
if anybody ever asks where I went to college, I say UMass Amherst.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so he was we were super close in college and when he got his status, he called me up and maybe I can't even remember. Maybe it was me like, "Hey, give me a shot." But he gave me a shot, and we had to our first event. This was all during COVID, which was just the most bizarre time to be
Oh my God,
alive, let
beat
alone
anything.
or on a tour, right? So our first event together, we actually had to Monday qualify into because his reshuffle didn't start until the week after, which I think was in Utah or something. So it was good because that first event was in Jacksonville. They had an event, and we got through this Monday qualifier together, and I was just like so stoked, so amped for him. And then I dive into the Korn Ferry Tour for the first time, and it's a little bit bigger than what I experienced in Winnipeg, Canada, and to be at home. And I remember him like texting me like our first negotiating rate, and I'm like, "You're gonna pay me this much to be at home for a week and caddy 20 minutes down the road?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, this is the best job ever." Let alone like not even thinking about making a cut or making money or winning. I'm just like, dude, I can make money doing this for sure. Like
Yeah,
this is what I'm
yeah.
supposed to do. And so I remember our first tee shot uh, is King of the Bear in Jacksonville. Is a straightaway par four, dog leg off the right a little bit, and there's water all down the right side. And I'm up there, I'm just like shaking. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what's going on. I basically got yardage book training like a week before this and totally failed at it. And um, so we're on this tee, and you can miss this tee shot a mile right and then another fairway. And he gets up here, and this thing is just straight into the water hazard. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, dude." That was the end of my caddy career right there. And it's just weird, like, because I still, feel a little bit of nerves, but like more excitement now when I get on the tee. But like you have no control over it, and I've come to appreciate it over 6 years. Like, dude, you're so out of control of anything this guy does. Like, you don't worry
Yeah,
about that at all. But it was just
yeah.
so funny that
You
was my first tee shot was just
and it's weird because you feel that, like, guilt and you didn't even do anything. You
right,
didn't take the
right,
shot,
right,
but
right,
you're like, "Could I have done something different to have helped you?"
right,
Like, no, there's
right.
nothing you could have done, but
Yeah.
as a caddy, you're still gonna feel that and be like, "Oh, I feel like shit."
Yeah. So we ended up the after that, it was like great. Like he told I remember him telling me like, dude, you did a great job. And so we go on to do the week after we're leading this golf tournament in Utah through 3 rounds. And there was like this crazy windstorm that came and hit the afternoon wave on the final round, and we ended up finishing like 30th. But then we had like a few like top 20s and maybe one like top 15 or something like through the next 4 or 5 events. And I'm like, dude, this is the greatest job in the world, and I'm doing it with one of my best friends. And like, I'm gonna go to the tour. We're gonna win the Masters. Like my life's set right here. So after like a 2 week break, we go back on the road and we missed 9 cuts in a row, I think it was.
Oh, boy, dude.
And yeah, just like
You went
I'm
from
just yeah,
the
yeah,
highest of highs to the absolute to the pit of despair.
yeah, just and like crazy thing, like tons. I think of the 9, probably 5 of them were missed by one, and you, long stories, but like a couple crazy things, just adding into a bunch of missed cuts. And so our last event together was in Chicago, and his college golf coach at UWF, Steve Fell, came out and was walking the course with us. And I remember him. We were walking down. I think one of the last holes in our practice round, and he asked me, he was like, "Nate, where's the wind this week?" I'm like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Well, it's gonna be here, here, and then here, and then here." Like it's shuffling all around. And then I kind of got this feeling like I don't really know what I'm doing out here at all. Like this is my first year out professionally caddying, and I'm just like I have so much that I don't know and that I'm not paying attention to. And Steve Fell comes in here, who's a legend, like such a stud. And I think one, Chandler at this time was not hitting it great, and two, me having no knowledge of professional caddying and just kind of like riding this high out, like
Yeah.
wasn't where I was supposed to be at the time, and I was not the guy for Chandler. Like, not
That
for one, not swinging it well, but just two, not being able to support him and like being as professional as I can be because it was I just didn't know at the time. So
I think that might be the healthiest answer or reflection we've ever had on this podcast.
yeah,
I mean, it
no,
is. I
yeah.
like the self awareness where you're just like,
Yeah.
I'm too new. He's too
Yeah.
new. Chandler
Right,
might be
right.
better off with a veteran guy who
Dude,
knows how to
totally.
deal with him.
Yeah, so after that event in Chicago, that was our ninth missed cut in a row. I think that one was by 1 again. But, his, uh his wedding was the week or 2 after that event, and we go to the wedding, great time, and then there's an event, like, a week after that, and I remember getting the call, and he's like I was like, "Dude, like, what's the plan? Like, when are you flying out?" And he's like, "About that, dude, like, I'm gonna go a different direction, like, you're such a great guy, you're a great caddy," and I'm just like, "Oh," like, just never crossed
Oh
my mind
no.
that he was gonna fire me at that point. And, obviously, blessing in disguise down the road, but yeah,
Yeah.
once that happened, I was like, okay, like, reflecting back on basically a year of just, you know, super cool stuff and heartbreak and, like, all these emotions that tour caddying always brings. And then I was kinda lost again and, went back to caddying at, or sorry, went back to, working at the same golf course that I was and went through the PGA program, did about a year of that, got burnt out of that, and then that's when I started, club caddying at Sawgrass. So
Sawgrass, dude, those are some great cats. Let me tell you, dude.
We're
They are in the fire at
yeah,
Sawgrass, dude. Cart path
dude.
only. You get guys who this is their one chance to play that course. And man, those boys got to eat it sometimes, dude. They got to eat it sometimes there, bro.
Sawgrass is the most indescribable place that you could ever caddy at. I mean, I watch the guys come back in from a loop, myself included, and we're wearing like sometimes we'll be wearing full, jumpsuit coveralls and late fall and it's still 90 degrees and it looks like they just walked off Hacksaw Ridge. Just
Oh yeah.
6 hours. It's just
It's just like their
everyone's
soul has left their
dude.
body, dude.
It can be. I mean, obviously, it's super fulfilling sometimes, like bucket list golf course, but it's a gnarly place to caddy.
Dude, it was crazy when I went there and I was like walking around the tournament with the caddies that work there. I was like, okay, this
Mhm.
hole you can. I was like, this hole, do you miss right? And he goes, no. I go, oh, okay, so you miss left. He goes, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, where do you? I'm like, where do you miss? He goes, you can't.
You
I
you
was like,
literally, yeah.
I'm
It's a
watching the
ball
pros
striker's golf
play. I'm
course.
watching the pros play it, and I'm like, how does an amateur even navigate this course? This
You
is
they
way
don't.
too
They
hard.
don't. Every single time I step foot on the grass there to go caddy for Sawgrass, I watch the most irrational, awful golf I've ever seen in my life every single day. I mean, I think, and I've been there. I've been caddying on tour for 5 years and probably about 6 years and maybe 5 years at Sawgrass. I've maybe had 10 people break 80 at that course.
Oh
10.
my god,
It's insane. I mean,
dude,
the
it's
level of
wild.
golf there that you get club caddying is atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, it's the
But
same. It's the same with any resort, but
for
like
sure,
if you can go play an easy course at Pinehurst that like a 15 to 20 handicap can
right?
kind of navigate.
Yeah.
Sawgrass, there is no room for error. And these guys go out there as a bucket list course being like, oh, I got to play great. They have all these
Right.
high expectations because they see the pros there. And then you look, and like me looking at it, I go, I'm a like 7 handicap. I would shoot
Yeah.
95 here. Like, this
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. And especially during the winter, when they're getting ready to ramp up the players, it's just like the
Oh my
rough is so
God.
thick, and
A
like
bloodbath.
they can't do anything. There's bunkers that are 100 yards long on almost every hole. It's just, if you're in the Trail of Tears, every hole raking like 4 different guys' bunkers. It's so bad.
All right, so
It's tough.
you're at Sawgrass. Is this
Mhm.
where you get the Thomas Walsh call up?
Yeah, so one
How
of
did that come about?
my one of Chandler's best buddies, Jared Wolf, who's played on all levels, his caddy Tillis reached out to me and told me while I was club caddying, he's like, "Hey, I got a guy who's got Korn Ferry status this year. I just caddied through him. Uh, I got him through Q school, and he needs a full time guy." And I was like, I don't know if I want to go back out there, because I was having fun at Sawgrass, like such a stud of a cart barn, and
Dude, the boys
man is
there, some of my favorite fellas. They welcomed
yeah,
me in with open arms, bro. Like
yeah,
into their house. We did a podcast there, and they were just
yeah.
absolute beauties.
No, it's such a good bunch, and that's like, I mean, it's tough to go into work there, but you walk into the bar and you're like, okay, I can. Even the 30 minutes there before you go out is just like, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so Tillis calls me and he's like, "Hey, I got this guy Thomas Walsh, who I'd seen out there, because at Sawgrass you got 30, 40 guys with PGA or Korn Ferry or some sort of status at practice there. So I'd seen him before, but never met him. And so I ended up taking a call from Thomas, and he was like, "Yeah, looking for a guy. Like, let's do a couple events, see how it goes, and we'll let it rip." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, you know what? I'll go." So I caddied for him. Go to the Bahamas, our first event. Another crazy like first event story. We're like well inside the cut in Exuma, at the first Bahamas event, and this course is like, you either have an ocean on one side and out of bounds on the other. So I think we're like one under going through our last like 4 or 5 holes, and it's the hardest hole on the golf course. Same thing, ocean on the left, out of bounds on the right. And we get up to this tee, and you either hit like a driving iron or 3-wood, like driver's a little too tight. So he steps up, hits 3-wood. This thing is just beelining it up the right side for a cart path. And I'm like, man, that's gonna hit it. Like, if I've ever seen a golf ball hitting a cart path, it's this one. Boom, straight out of bounds. And I give him another ball. He's like, "Do you like this club or one less?" I'm like, "No, I still like it. I think it's through it. Like, let's push it up there." Boom, hits literally within maybe 4 feet of the same spot. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, dude. And so we go up there, and this thing is so far out of bounds. Like, there's like a small housing development that's built on this little inlet on this island. It's so far out of bounds and it's hit so many cart paths and roads that I just like run over, and I'm like, this could be so far out of bounds, it's inbounds on like another hole. And so I run up like another probably 200 yards, and I find both of them that are just out of bounds. And he's already like halfway back to the tee box at this point. And I'm like, well, that was a good first event with Thomas.
Oh my
I
God.
better go back to club caddy. So
Oh no.
we end up missing that cut. I think it takes us probably, and this is still during COVID. So he, gosh, yeah, it probably took us 4 or 5 events to make a cut. And we like, he's just such a lovable guy, like such a likable guy, and we got along so well. And he ends up shuffling out probably halfway through the season, and I picked up a couple other bags towards the end of the season that I started working with Thomas. And then
Mhm.
I got a kind of a long-term bag after he shuffled out, and kind of held with that, and he was in and out of starts. So at that point in my career, I thought it was better to have a guy with full status. So I ended up caddying for a guy named Jonathan Brightwell, who's an awesome guy as well, for the rest of the season. But then Thomas gets back in through has a another start. Um, Sorry, I'm sidetracked here. He has to go back through Q school the following year, and he gives me a call back because me and Jonathan had split up at this point, and I was like, dude, yes, I'm so in. Like, oh, I would love to, give it another shot with you. So we end up going through Q school in Savannah, and we have a birdie putt on the last hole at this time that we didn't know what it was for, but he ends up cashing like a 25 footer that got him um, basically the first four events
No
back into the
way.
Bahamas. Yeah, and he
You
he and
didn't know
I go.
you didn't know it?
No, 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 no.
Oh
He
my
cashes this
God.
birdie putt, and it was it was basically like conditional status is what he got, but it got him into the first, at least the first event for the same event that he shipped a few out of bounds on in Exuma. And so we go back there and top 25, and then uh you know top 20, and then it just like shuffles him into the basically the whole season. So
Yeah.
I end up working for him for almost 4 years, a little over 4 years, and it was just the ride of a life with Thomas. I mean,
I
one
mean,
of my
that's
best
awesome.
buddies. Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome. You guys still talk to this day?
yeah. So Thomas and I split up last year. He ended up retiring from golf and opening up a indoor pickleball and golf simulator in uh, Jacksonville called Chip Shot. So it's got like, I don't know, maybe 10 pickleball courts and 4 golf simulators, full beer wall, like just the
Oh,
best hangout
that's
spot in Jacksonville. Yeah.
all right. All right. So I know what I'm doing when I go to
Yeah.
Jacksonville. Me and
Yeah.
you and him. I think this is what we do. We go down to
Yeah.
Jacksonville. We go to that bar, the pickleball place, and we film an awesome podcast with you two on it.
Yes. Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I'll
I
get
would
him in.
love
I'll
to
get
get
him in.
both of your stories. That'd be awesome. That would
Yeah.
be
He's
awesome.
great. He's so great. Yeah. So that was cool working for him. And, he kind of led me into caddying for Ben Crane, where I'm at now. We were paired together in an event in Chicago towards the end of when Thomas was kind of building this business in Jacksonville. He was working through an injury and kind of questioning if he wanted to continue playing golf. And so we ended up getting paired with Ben in Chicago. And I think it was Saturday. We were both playing great. I think we were both probably 8 under going into our last few holes. And Ben comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, do you know anybody like interested in working full time? I'm looking to get serious about it. A Champions Tour looper." And I
No
was like,
way.
Not really, but I could be available in a few months. I'm not sure where my life's going, but if you're available and I am, I'll give you a call." So Thomas ends up retiring, and I called Ben like a few months after the tour season ended, and he was like, "Yeah, let's give it a shot."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Dude, your life has been one series of awesome networking events.
Yeah, that's what I tell everybody. They're like, "How do you get to where you're at now?" I'm like, "Honestly, Chandler gave me a shot, and it's just like any other job. Like you network out through there. I mean, it
I,
truly
I
is
kind
what."
of hope I kind of hope that never changes in caddying. Like
Yeah,
I feel like these stories are good because it's not your traditional way to get a job. You get your first break. It's kind of like old. It reminds me of old Hollywood in a sense, where you get your first big break on a bag, and that just like you go from one to another, or you stick with a
totally,
guy for long term, and it's just this like
totally.
magical thing that happens only in caddying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's pretty neat.
Y- yeah. I mean, it's so hard to explain to people like how. I mean, the amount of people that I get at Sawgrass are like, "Oh, you went to caddy school, and that's where you're." I'm like, "No, dude." If there's a cat, I want to start a caddy school because everyone knows about it, and I don't think it's a thing.
I know. That isn't that crazy? Yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we should just
Yeah,
be why don't we go to we should go to a college and, like, just
yeah,
put on some suits and just act like we're professors, be like, "Yeah, we're gonna start caddy school." And they're like, "What?"
yeah. Caddy
Yes.
school, yeah, caddy
Alright, dude,
101.
you gotta learn how to get real banged up, but still show up to the course on time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's such a wild ride that I mean, everybody's story is so cool because nobody's is the same story, obviously. So it's so, I don't know, it's just a crazy world once you get into it.
Yeah, it is, and so up until this point, you're with Ben, you're on the Champions Tour now.
So
No victories yet. No victories yet.
no,
How many? And
yeah.
how do the first couple events go with Ben?
So Ben was playing down on they had this category when I started working for him almost 2 years ago called 49 to 50. So and this is for the Korn Ferry Tour. So if you're in that age of 49 to 50 and you're about to have status on the or you've won X amount of money on tour, you can have there's a couple spots available on the Korn Ferry event where those guys can play in that age group to get ready for the Champions Tour. So um, my first event with him was in Savannah, and we ended up missing. He was playing great, and we ended up missing the cut by one. And it was just like the most incredible. Like, dude, I that was so fun working for you. Like, I feel like we're gonna work so well together. Like the vibes are great. He played great. Like it was just a good week. And then we go to Texas to go play another Corn Ferry event, and we're in a rain delay and go back out, finish almost the whole round, and then they blow the horn and we're getting called back in. And we're taking a golf cart back in to the clubhouse. And he asked me to, we're going up this like side slope and there's ropes. He's like, hey, pull the rope over the golf cart so we can go under. So I'm holding this thing over and he guns it and the rope slips and it falls onto the back of the cart and snaps his driver straight in half. this, this is my first three events
There's
with
no
him.
way. There's
I've
no
got a
way, dude.
yeah, I've got a miscut and I snapped his driver in half. And at that point, I'm like, I mean, obviously he's so frustrated, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like,
What a start to your
yeah.
tenure with Ben Crane, dude.
I was like, this is one, the worst start you could ever ask for, and two, it was fun while it lasted. I got to caddy for Ben Crane, legend, Golf Boys legend, for 3 events, and I could add that onto
You're
my
just calling
resume.
it quits. You're like, there's no way this guy keeps me
Yeah,
on the bag, dude.
yeah. And so we go the next round, restart, ended up playing pretty good. I think we birdied the first couple holes, but like it was obviously the energy was down. And I went up to him after the round. We ended up missing the cut. And I'm like, Ben, I don't know what is going on. Like I don't know why all these crazy things are happening. Like these things are unheard of, especially to happen, consecutively like this. And one, I'm sorry. And I just want you to know, like, I'm trying my hardest for you. Like, I really am. And I'm sorry that these events are unfolding like this. And he's, he kind of, he said some kind words there. And then he calls me 10 minutes later after I leave. And he's like, Nate, like, I want you to know that, like, sometimes when you start new things, it doesn't work out very well. And I know you're trying your hardest. And, I appreciate you and what you're doing. And like, and we're both pretty big into our faith, him especially. And he's like, sometimes God is just like steering you in a different path, and we're learning, and it's okay. Like I know these are honest mistakes, and it's not your fault, and it's just right there. He's such a stud of a guy, and
Dude,
just
what a
so
dude, what a
caring. Yeah,
beauty, man. Like
yeah,
that's awesome. For him to
yeah,
call you 10 minutes after you were like, yo, bro,
yeah.
I'm really sorry.
I
That
know. I
that's
remember.
that's the best guy ever. Like that's so
Yeah,
sick. You must have just
yeah,
been like, wow, what a relief. Like because
yeah. No, truly.
if I had to put myself in your shoes, I'd be like, how is this guy gonna keep me on for the fifth round?
Exactly.
There's
Exactly.
no way. Like,
How would anybody keep you after those 3 starts? And said,
oh, dude, that's
here we
awesome.
are,
That's
insane.
awesome. And so this
Yeah.
this is what we're gonna lead into the American Family Insurance Championship. It's you, Ben Crane, Darren Clarke,
Yeah.
and the caddy Keith
Keith.
Nolan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keith seems like a beauty as well, but you guys
He's
are
such a
out
stud.
there. You get your pep talk on
Yeah.
Friday, and you guys go out there. Just give me the rundown of the tournament, man. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Where this has got to be unreal for you?
Super unreal. And again, like super thankful, especially to Darren and Keith, because Darren had won last year with another player who ended up, Thomas Bjorn, who got injured, so couldn't play this year. So Keith told me Darren and him were going down the list and like picking out, because we weren't in an opportunity to pick a player. We had to get picked in order to play this event. and they were going down the list, and they were like, who can we win with, basically? And Keith had worked for Ben when he was on tour in the past, and got to Ben Crane, like, we can win with this guy. So we tee it up.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
sick.
So we tee it up on Friday, which is best ball. And both played like pretty good. We shot 9 under on the first round, and it was kind of slow and very like ham and eggy. But I think the leaders were at 12 through that day, so we were right in the mix. And Darren told us before we started, he was like, "All we want to do on Sunday is give ourselves an opportunity on the back 9 to have a shot." And so we're a couple back on Saturday, and we tee off, and we birdie 17. This is a scramble format. And I was talking to my buddy Jared the day before, or after we finished on Friday, and he was like, "Scramble format, that's pretty cool. You guys can go out there and shoot 18 under, right? Or, something like that. 2 men. I'm like, dude, this is not your like charity scramble beer league with 20 mulligans that you guys just purchased. Like, it's 2 people at a professional setup. Like, I think 13 or 14 would be good." So I end up eating my words, because they only parred 10, so they made 17 birdies,
Oh
and
my
it was
God.
shattered the scramble scoring record. Whatever. I don't know how many times they've done it, but they said that. So we had Ben and Darren played pretty good on the front. Didn't hit it like super close, but just Ben's an incredible green reader. I'm pretty good at reading greens. We built through aim points. So like, you put us in a scramble format and have 2 shots at it, like we're gonna have a good shot. And so
Yeah, keep going.
yeah,
Sorry.
we go to we birdie the first 9 holes. We go to 10, which is a hard hole, miss a maybe 18-footer. And then we go to 11. We have 15, 20 feet for eagle, miss it, tap in for birdie. And then Darren Clarke doesn't hit a single putt for the next 2 hours. Ben Crane makes a 8-footer on 11, a 15-footer on 12, a 15-footer on 13, a 10-footer on 14, a 9-footer on 15,
Oh my
a
God.
10-footer on 16, a 20-footer on 17, and a 10-footer on 18. It was the most incredible putting I'd seen in my life. And Darren
Oh
comes
my
up to us
God.
on the 15th hole after Ben makes a putt. He's like, "I was going to tell him, like, maybe I should hit a putt, just because I'm going to have to putt at some point on this 9." And then he was like, "Why would I do that? Like, why would I change this up at all?" Like, it's, it was so bizarre to watch, and like so
Now,
cool.
now with you and Ben, how does the reading of the putt go? Or do you guys both read it and you kind of give a little feedback here and there? Or what's your guys' process like when you're reading? And I mean, that's a zone, man. Making
Yeah.
that many putts, like, tell me
Oh,
about that.
unheard of. Impossible to make that many putts. So Chandler actually introduced me to aim point when I started working with him, and practiced it a ton, got pretty good at it. And Ben is as much of a human level as you can get. I mean, you put the level down, and he's within point 0.3 to point 0.4 every time. So he's really good at that, and very, very versed on how aim point works. So he'll read a ton on his own, but he'll call me in a good bit now, just to check and make sure we're on the right slope, or pretty near. So I
I
get
kind
called
of
in a
love that.
good bit.
I kind of love that
Yeah.
dynamic. That's what I hope that other people at the club level or like resort level like sort of start to
Hmm.
realize, like, hey, tell me what you think, and I will tell
Right.
you, like, I don't have to just be like, hey, it's here. If you like that, great, but start to get a little feel for yourself so you know what you're doing out there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that I feel like is a cool relationship, especially with a tour player, to be like, he's got it, which obviously it makes sense. He's been playing golf his
Yeah.
whole life. He can read a
Yeah.
putt. But like
Yeah.
to have you be like the confirming factor, be like, okay, I don't know if this is 100%
Hmm.
correct. Are you there with me? And you're like, hell yeah, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, no, and it's worked. He's been putting, especially this year. Like, his putting stats are super solid. So we've kind of bounced around with like how the process works, but basically right now it's like he'll go in, read it. Maybe I'll read it with him, or maybe he'll call me in, and then I'll just, like, right before he hits every putt, I'll say, "You all good, bud?" And then he'll go into it, and he'll say,
That's
"Yeah, I'm good."
awesome, dude.
Yeah,
That little positive reinforcement.
yeah,
I got a guy named Pistol Pete. I play with him all the time. And
nice.
anytime I'm about to hit a shot, he goes, Dougie. I go, yeah. He goes, do good. I go, all right. Yeah. Like that little bit just kind of gets
Yeah,
you
it's
like,
a
all
little
right, nice.
cue. It's a little cue. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
sick.
like that. So
So,
you're on. Oh, yeah. You keep
yeah,
going.
so we ended up birding 17 out of 18 holes. We got a 3-shot lead going into Sunday. And Ben had we finished second at the senior PGA a few weeks ago. So we lost to Stuart Sink by a billion because he shot a course record on Sunday, and he's the Scotty Tiger of the senior era right now. He's such a good
He's a
dude
legend.
and
He's a
playing so
legend,
nice
dude.
right now. It's so impressive to watch. So we had gotten a little like, we've gotten those feelings going into a late round on Sunday. So, but holding that 3-shot lead with Darren was, I think, a little nervy for both of us. But we were hitting it good, putting good, and we got a partner like Darren and Keith, there to kind of be with us and guide us a little bit. So he came up to us, gave us another speech on the practice green before we teed off on Sunday, and he was like, you know, whatever happens out there, as long as we're unfazed, we're unflappable. Like we can't be beat today. And we're both like,
Yes, dude.
let's go again. Ryder Cup captain just doing his
That's
thing for
awesome.
us. And
Dude, so you and Keith at that moment must just be like, let's lock the in. Like, let's
yeah,
go. Like,
Keith
you guys must
Keith
be
is
jacked up.
yeah, Keith is stone cold and just like I mean he's a stud, and he he helped me for sure last week, and just with my emotions and with Darren's and Ben's, like he definitely had our backs. And so we tee off and both hit pretty good ones down. One's a kind of a tight hole. Ben hit one to a bunker. Darren was just off the rough and make par on the first hole. And it's blowing. We're in Wisconsin last week. It's blowing 15 to 20 all day, like super strong. This course is super tight. You got to drive it really well. And our lead shrinks. We're playing best ball, and we're off to a slow start for best ball standards. We par one, par two, a par five, which was pretty gettable, par three, par four. Ben made a 10-foot slider on a par three. We both met the green on five, and like we're just in this grind mode right now. And we can see I try not to look at leaderboards, but they're all in front of you always, so it's pretty hard. So I can see we're now tied for the lead, still on the front nine, and it's stressful in that event because people can go on a run. And we finally make a birdie on 7, get to 10. Darren almost chips in for birdie. Ben misses a birdie putt. We get to 11. Ben hits driver off the deck to like 15 feet, make another birdie. And then I look up at a leaderboard on 14, and we're still holding a 1-shot lead. And Ben looks up at me, who definitely tries not to look at leaderboards. He's like, I didn't realize we were still in this thing. I'm like,
Oh
buddy.
boy, no way.
I was like, buddy, we are so in this thing, dude. Like, let's go. So he gets up to 15, stripes one down the middle of the fairway, and he's so amped up. He's like, let's play, let's go. And we get up there, and we have like 138 into the win on the 15th hole, and we're either in the lead or tied for the lead at this point. And it's like 138, blown 20 into, he like chips this 8-iron, and it takes off, and he like pimp steps it, starts walking towards the hole, and it lands like 8 feet past it. And he's like dapping me and Darren up, giving us high fives, like screaming, like he's so amped. He gets so excited. And Keith comes up to me. He's like, you got to calm down just a little bit, buddy.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. What a vet move.
Yeah,
What
like
a vet.
totally. I looked at Ben. I was like, all right, let's focus on our program up here. Like, let's go to the next putt. Ends up barely missing this thing low right. We go into 16, which is a drivable par 4. And Ben hits it green, or basically pen high right of the green. Darren hits it in short-sided in a bunker. Impossible shot. And so Ben hits his chip shot to like 5 feet, probably going to make birdie here. And Darren has this short-sided bunker shot. There's one place you can land this. It's basically bunker short left, fringe, pin, like 4 on his angle, downwind. He hits this thing straight up in the air. It lands like 1 foot on the collar and just trickles out, almost goes in like a putt to like gimmies, just like that, taps in,
No way.
and we're amped up. So now we got a 1-shot lead going to the 17th hole. And they both have, uh, I think we both hit like a chip 8. Ben hits it to like 30 feet. Darren hits a good one to like 15 feet. Both miss. And we step up on the 18th tee. We get a 1-shot lead. And all we have to do is par. And all of us know it. And so, same,
Nerves,
yeah,
nerves,
nerves.
dude.
Like,
Talk
just like, here
like
we
what
go.
what
Like,
are you feeling on the tee?
I, um, I was super confident that we could make par. I mean, you got a 2-man event. You got 2 shots at it. Like, somebody in this group is going to make par. Ben tees
Love that.
off. It's a little in off left. Ben tees off, and this thing just peels like right into the hazard. I'm like, oh gosh. And
Oh
Darren's
no.
on the tee, just like down. And Darren said something on that speech on Tuesday that I loved and Ben loved. He's like, boys, there's no sorries this week because we're both trying our hardest. So if we hit a bad shot, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it from me. I don't want you to tell me you're sorry. Like, we're trying our nuts off. So like, there were so many times this whole week where they both could have said sorry and nobody ever did. And I love that. So Ben tees
Love
off.
that.
Yeah, it was
Love
so
that.
cool. So Ben tees off. It's in the hazard, but like barely in. We didn't know it obviously off the tee, but like I knew there was a chance we could, at least chip out. Darren, total vet, hits it up the left side into like this tall grass fescue, but you got one ball potentially out of play. As a vet, that's what you do. You hit it up there. So we get up there. Ben chips out, has a chip out, and Darren hits it 20 yards short of the green. So our chip out left us maybe 105 yards straight into the wind, hit like a gap wedge up there to 20 feet. Pretty good shot. And Darren hits this like high little nipper. It's a tucked right pin, kisses it like off this little back ridge and rolls it back to like 7 feet. So we got 2 shots at this. We got like a 25 footer, and then we got Darren's 7-footer. So I get up there, Ben's reading it, calls me in. I read it with him. Hits an incredible putt, just a little too firm, misses on the high edge, and then Darren has this to win the golf tournament. And I'm basically like hiding in the corner with Keith. Like, I hadn't been called in once this whole week to read a putt for Darren, minus the scramble because we were playing the same putt. But Darren's round on Friday and this round on Sunday, the whole day, like it was either Ben reading it or Darren putting and reading his own, but I was never involved. And I'm standing next to Keith, just like watching this, taking it all in. And all of a sudden I hear, and I'm like, dude, no. Like, no.
Not now. Not
No,
now,
like,
dude.
so I walk over there and like all this, I felt this like overwhelming sense of confidence. I praying all week and like I just felt like it was from the Lord. I just walked over there and I'm reading this putt, doing my aim point, and Ben and Darren both had it a little bit left side high, so they felt it going a little left to right, and I had it a little bit right side high. And they asked me, they were like, "What do you feel?" I'm like, "I got it a little bit." Or sorry, I had that backwards. I'm sorry. I had it a little bit left side high. They had it a little bit right side high. And I look up and I'm like, "Yeah, I feel it going a little left to right, if anything." And they looked at me and started chuckling. I'm like, "What?" They're like, "We both have it going the other way." I'm like, "Nice." And so for whatever reason, I find myself in a caddy squat, like sight reading behind the ball. And I look up and I see Darren Clarke looking at me. And he's like, "Where's my line at right now?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Is this actually happening?" And I looked at it. I'm like, "Your line's at left center." And then I look back up and he's like, "Do you like that?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? This this is happening right now? You're asking me if I like this to win the golf tournament?" And again, I'm just like overwhelmed with this confidence. And I looked up and I was like, "Darren, it's a straight putt." And I walked away and just buries it dead center. Dead
Let's
center, makes it,
go.
wins the golf tournament.
Let's
So the
go.
coolest thing after he makes it and signs everything, does all the interviews, he takes the ball out of the hole that he made it to win, and he says, "Great read, Nate." cheers, Darren Clarke, and gave
No
gave me the game
way.
ball.
Keep that forever,
Yeah, I
man.
know. So sick. I mean, just unbelievable. And I mean, I was bawling. It was my first win.
Dude,
It's been such a process and a crazy ride, but it was so cool to finally do it.
dude, the fact that you went through all of those trials and tribulations,
Yeah,
and then on the last hole, you got the call to be like, "Tell me where this goes. I trust
right,
you." And you
right.
nailed it. Like,
Yeah.
that must have been the best feeling on the planet,
It
dude.
was so cool. I just like instantly hugged Keith, and he was like, "Is that your first one?" I'm like, "That's my first one." He's like, "I'm so happy for you." And I mean, Keith
Oh,
was just so good all week, just like keeping our team like joking and keeping us lighthearted. And he's all Sunday was like, he kept looking at me. He's like, just stay patient, stay patient. We're gonna have our opportunities. And we had a cushion going into that round, so it was literally him just saying, stay patient, and we did all the way to 18. So it was incredible to have Darren and
well
Keith for sure to do that with.
well, dude, what a journey. What a
Yeah,
story. Congratulations, bro, on
thank you,
your
buddy.
first ever tour win. I mean, that is
Yeah,
awesome, dude. Like,
awesome.
congrats. You deserve it. You seem like a great guy, and I wish you so much success moving
Thank you.
forward, man.
Yeah, you too.
Oh,
I'm excited to see where you guys take off. I mean, I
oh,
think I texted you yesterday. I was like, I don't know how I haven't seen this page. It's so cool.
well, dude, to be honest, you're one of our. I think we've had the live guys on. They were great, but like, you're the first caddy who's coming off a win to come on. So thank you for taking the time, dude. Like, I
Of
really
course,
appreciate
of
it.
course, of course. Yeah,
Oh, dude, like that's rad. We hope to get more. Like, dude, I hope to see you on here the next, 3 or 4 events after you win
yeah,
them.
yeah. That would be
No more,
awesome. Yeah.
just like don't snap any more drivers, and I think you got a good job going for a
Yeah.
while, bro.
Yeah, there's been a lot of corrections and just making sure I'm doing the right thing over the years.
Well, dude, you got
It's
it.
been
That's what
good.
life's all about. That's what
Yeah.
caddying's all about. You
Yeah,
figure
for
it out as
sure.
you go, and dude, you finally got your moment, dude. And I wish
Yeah.
you many, many more, bro.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy.
All right, dude. Well, this has been awesome, man. I just want to wrap it up with something we like to
Yeah.
call the last call, sponsored and poured by Spike Dade. All right, your last loop ever. When you're done, when you're hanging it up, where is it at? Who's it for?
Oh, wow, what a great question. Um,
Quick.
I think with how much Sawgrass has been in my life and how much crazy things I've ever seen, I'd I'd like it to be at Sawgrass. And I'll loop for my dad. My last one will be for my dad.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's dope. That's a good answer. Sawgrass for your dad is gonna be a gauntlet, though.
Yeah. My dad is terrible at golf, so if my last loop, if I'm fortunate enough that he lives to 100 and I'm up there too, it'll be a gnarly round for us both.
That will be gnarly, bro. Let's see. Second question: what is the best caddy bar you've ever had a drink at? Like, you've probably been around the world, had so many good bars with these guys. What was your favorite one of all time?
We went to me and my buddy Johnny and Josh, they both caddied on the PGA Tour last year on the Korn Ferry, and we stayed above this place called Harbells. And gosh, where was that? I think it was in Kansas City. Basically like a loft straight above this like dive bar restaurant. Like you can
Ooh,
hear going on the entire week, and you just walk down the stairs and you're right into the bar. It was just the best setup all week.
that's awesome. You remember the name of that bar?
Harbells.
Oh, Harbells. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that. All right, the
Great
last
spot.
question. Last question of the pod. Who should we have next? Who's Nate Scott's top pick to get on the Tip Your Caddy podcast?
Oof. I would love you to have Johnny Moffitt on. He caddies for Jeff Kang on the PGA
Okay.
Tour. Yeah. He's a stud. Jacksonville, he's in the TPC barn too with us all, and great guy. Super funny.
Send him a text after this. Tell him about the podcast. I'd love to have him on.
Okay.
If he's a cool, if
Yeah,
he's a
for
cool
sure.
guy, I'd love to
Yeah,
get his story.
he's a legend. Yeah.
All right, dude, Nate, like I said, can't thank you enough.
Yeah,
Congrats on
Dougie.
the win, bro.
Thank
And
you.
dude, what a story, dude. What a story. Congratulations. I wish you so much more success. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on. What
Yeah,
an
of
interview,
course.
bro. What an interview.
Thanks, Dougie. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, Nate. Tip your caddy, boy.